Alright everybody, welcome to our build series 18, or episode 18, part 2 for Sandyton. We're going to take a look at our barracks again. I've been kind of fiddling with this all week and had some troubles, and finally, I learned something new that we need to take care of real quick. So let's go ahead and we're going to jump out of the game because we have a setting that we need to update. So if you're using Gorilla Loader like I do, let's go ahead, or GD Launcher anyway. We open this folder. Let's go to our folder that we're going to build in. Let's go over here to server config. There's this config file right here, Minecolonies server. We want to open that up. Yes, go ahead. So when you open this up, you're going to find this section, all configuration related to mod compatibility. Come down to this last option here. Turn this on if you're using this world for blueprint building and scanning. By default, this is false. We want to go ahead and change this to true. And save that. Then we can close that. We can go ahead and reopen our game. Sweet, sweet coffee. Oh, I love you so, your dark, smooth richness. And basically what this is going to let us do is we take a scan of our tower here. And this is going to be important later. But let's just go ahead and make a copy of that. Plop it down there. Now before, if you do not have that option toggled and you go to hit constructed, you're going to get an error down here. It won't paste it. It says you need to build a town hall first. But now that we've toggled that over to yes, we can constructed paste it. And all this is going to let us do is paste this tower where we want, while gaining the function of these light placeholders. And that function is basically to not override whatever block is there. Because if you look here, some of these things, like our entrance into the tower itself, would get overridden by the tower. And actually, come to think of it, we need those two blocks right there. Now I'm gonna get rid of this thing. So I'm going to get to work because I've got quite a lot to do. I was working on this much earlier in the week so that it would be more ready to go for this weekend, and none of it worked. So here we are. We're going to do two versions for you. We're going to do a version that auto levels this barracks, and then we're going to do the more traditional style barracks, parent-child buildings, if you're referring to those in general, where you upgrade the parent, which would be the barracks, and then you upgrade the children, which would be the barracks towers, separately. So we'll have one version that upgrades everything at the same time, one version that upgrades things separately, and we'll go through how to set all those up. But first things first, I need to break all of these down into their proper levels. So I'm going to get to work on that. And we will be back in a little bit to talk about how we get these guys set up to work. And I will probably spend a lot of time today doing that, getting it ready to go, and then actually testing it to make sure it works, so that I don't release, just wrong information, because that'd be fake news. I mean, not good, right? Because we don't want to give you guys the wrong ideas. So we'll be back in a little bit as I fire up the second account here so that you guys can watch me work. back again. I hope this, I obviously haven't edited this video yet. I hope that kind of time-lapse doesn't take too long. It'll probably take a while. That was about an hour and 10 minutes worth of building, but let's go ahead and talk about what we did here for the Barracks Tower. So I rearranged the interior of the tower a little bit. I'm going to need these back again, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But I rearranged the beds, just made a little bit better, moved the armor stands around, and I might come back and put some armor on those later. But so I need these two placeholders here because of how I've tied in this walkway here. Instead of having these two blocks missing, it would be a little awkward. You'd have this railing would stop at a dead stop, and I just hope that the AI is able to path through that. But, so here at level 4, I said I wasn't going to move the door, but then I moved the door anyway. I'm not sure if I want to go back and redo level 5 with the door at the bottom, or just leave it up top. I kind of like the walkways and things inside. I think it's a little bit fun, but level 4, we just move some beds around. We move the door down. Those beds are the same. These beds up here moved around, and decorations moved around a little bit. Other than that, we get rid of our cloth awning, and that's all there is to speak about level 4. Level 3, we have a big jump down. You can see we lose a whole story here because we don't need a bed up here anymore. We still have our entrance down here with our 3 beds. That's all the same. There's no difference between that part of 3 and 4. At level 2, we get a little more basic. I replaced a lot of the sandstone bricks with just sandstone. Rearranged the beds. So this was why I had rearranged the armor stands, so that I didn't actually have to move the armor stands throughout the build and move the chests throughout the build. The chests are not such a big deal. Generally, you don't ever want to move storage, but Minecolonies does not see a chest as storage. It is purely for decoration, so it's okay. Back here at level 1, we're here. We move the chest. There's no armor stands, just a single bed. Pretty basic room for 1 guard only. And that's it. So the barracks actually starts at level 3. So if you were inclined to build this based on the progression scheme, which is wood, stone, nether, technically you can't build the barracks until after you have 3 level 1 guard towers or a level 3 guard tower. So you could, in theory, start your barracks at, in air quotes, level 3. That is, you could include nether blocks for the level 1 barracks. I don't really do that too much. It just kind of compresses the leveling scheme. I think it's a little easier just to go ahead and follow wood, stone, nether, ocean, and then end. So our level 5 barracks here, the actual build itself hasn't changed. At level 4, we just simplified decoration. I got rid of a lot of the interior walkways because our doorways jumped down, and of course I had to deal with that. You can see there's no more walkway up there. We now enter over here, and this is just a simple entryway, and we'll see all of this. I think I'm gonna get rid of the carpet. I like to keep the final decorations for level 5. You don't get the pretty stuff until the very end. And I missed these guys right here. There we go. Alright. So that's pretty much it. Level 4 is over here. Oh, I missed some banners. And I've got to do the same changes over here. Generally, you don't have to do this twice for every building. If you're watching, I made all of the changes for one schematic and then just copied over. Depending on how long that is, this might be still part of episode 2, or it might actually be into episode 3. But you can see we just kind of simplified things, dropped the walls down. I left the gate the same, and that's about it. Level that's level 4. Sorry, this is level 3 now. This gets a little more simple again. We get a little bit of a different roof here because our whole height structure changes. And I think once we're done with this breakthrough, this will be the end of the episode, probably. Yeah, we'll get the time-lapse. It might end up being too long. We'll get the time-lapse, and we'll get this breakdown into episode, or part 2 of episode 18, and then we'll start up part 3, and we will actually talk about how we input these towers into the barracks for each of the schemes. You can see here at level 2, we pretty much lose all of the barracks structures. We will have these kind of open platforms and 4 towers in place. Level 1 gets even more simplified, and we break it down. If you noticed, I was working with a landform that I had made using World Edit. So here we are, just even more basic. I left the spring in place. We've got our simple entryway, fenced off walkways, pretty much just a really basic structure. For this, it's going to be okay, because we're going to be building all 4 towers at the same time as we level up. For this version, we can actually simplify this even more, and we might handle that in a part 4. So we'll do, yeah, I think that's a good idea. We'll do a part 3, and that is going to cover auto-upgrading parent-child schematics. Part 4, we are going to cover the kind of original style of parent-child schematics where the child upgrades independently of the parent, and you'll see the options that we have by doing it that way versus doing it this way. But I think that's going to wrap it up for now. I am going to get to editing these videos for you so that I can get a release out today. Part 3, let's be honest, is probably not going to come until next week. Hopefully part 3 and part 4 really shouldn't take that long. I'm hoping we'll get both of those done next weekend for you. As always, I appreciate you joining me. I hope you enjoyed the probably too long time-lapse video of me working through breaking all these down for you. Once this is all done, I'm going to do some playtesting of the barracks myself, but I think what I might actually do is package up what we've got done already and put it up on Planet Minecraft for download so that you guys can actually test it for me, because I'd appreciate a bit of playtesting. I don't really have time to build and test at the same time, which is how I ended up so far behind this week, is that I was testing how I was doing the barracks and it didn't work. But of course it took 2 or 3 hours for the builder, even in creative mode and cheating, more or less, by upgrading the research and everything and changing the config settings so that the builder works faster. It still takes 2 or 3 hours to build the entire barracks with the barracks towers, so it's testing's a bit slow. But anyways, thanks for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Join me in the next one. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're interested in the Barracks series and you want to make sure you know when the next videos come out. Until then, thank you and bye-bye.